right, guys, I am approaching my shipper here in Atkins, Arkansas, Cowell Steel. This big white building you see up here on the right. I see another Maverick truck down here. So let's see what this sign says. Delivery, pickup, over-the-road trucks. All right, so the sign says I need to take a right.
Turn right and arrive at your destination.
It says Cowell Steel Structures.
Proceed to the route. Proceed to the route. Proceed to the route. Proceed to the route.
Well, all right, guys. Let me get around here and let's see. This other Maverick truck has made the turn and looks like he's lined up to go in the building.
Proceed to the route.
All right, let me see what they want me to do here, fellas. Okay, folks. Well, I've gotten positioned like they told me. There's I-40 right over there. I mean, I could hit a golf ball to I-40 from here. Whew. Got a little pond over there. I don't know if you can see it, but they told me when I pulled in over there, they're loading like a preload over there. I don't know if you can see it behind that dumpster, but said he'd be done with that in a minute. And they told me to pull in right here so he could get to both sides of the trailer and they'd get me loaded here in a minute. So I guess I'm getting, you know, this kind of stuff. So it'll be a, you know, a strap load. Shouldn't be too difficult, no tarp load. The other Maverick driver is over there. So anyway, that's what's happening right now. Just waiting on them to get done with what they're doing so they can start loading us. Just giving you a picture of things. All right, I'll show you more later. Good morning, boys and girls. I say that because one of my newer subscribers a few days ago left me a message that he said I reminded him of the cool substitute teacher he might have had in high school. Never thought of myself that way, but hey, whatever works. So good morning, boys and girls. Today, well, you know, I've got this load I picked up last night or late yesterday in Atkins, Arkansas, Pottsville, Arkansas. And you know, it took a while to get loaded. I was there about 3 hours. I actually ran out of time while I was there and I had to PC. Luckily there was a Flying J about, I don't know, less than 10 miles away, so I had to PC over there. And, you know, as a legitimate use of PC, personal conveyance, you know, to get to a safe place to park. And it only took me 10 minutes or so. But I haven't shown you this load. And it delivers, I've still got about 40 minutes to get to my delivery location. And it's just a residence in Mountainburg, Arkansas. Should be some beautiful country. And I called the customer. I actually had to call two people. Let me show you this. I had to call. This is kind of a strange or unique delivery. I've only had to do this twice. The whole, you know, 2.5 years I've been doing this. But this is what they call a collect delivery. I've got this packet the shipper gave me, and so I've got this big envelope to give to the customer. I've got 3 pieces of paper, you know. I've got to keep one for myself, give one to the customer, and then I've got to send one of them back in this UPS, you know, prepaid envelope, along with a check from the customer for about 35 grand. So, you know, I don't usually have to do that. You know, most of our stuff is prepaid or handled through the Maverick office or whatever, but I've actually got to get a check from the customer and send it back to the shipper. So yeah, it's kind of different. So I called. There's 2 phone numbers on the paperwork. One for the contractor, you know, the construction contractor, who I'm assuming will be the one there to meet me and do the unloading. So I called him, made sure he's set up to meet me. He's supposed to meet me there at 8 o'clock, 8 a.m. And then I also called the customer, and nice lady, talked to her. So it's just a residence I'm going to, and they're building some sort of an outbuilding. That's what this stuff is I'm carrying. I'm going to show it to you in a minute, but basically this company I picked this up from, they sell, you know, metal building products, and you can buy, you know, a kit that has everything you need, you know, to build a certain size and style of building. So that's what we got here. So let me show you. Man, I think I used every strap I have except for 1 2-inch strap. There's a lot of straps. And it took a lot of time to load because there's so many layers. So here's what we got. You know, we got a bunch of this metal, painted metal. We got, you know, metal siding. We got the roofing caps. We got a box of assorted things up there, but you can see they got little timbers, like landscape timbers in between, you know, just lots of stacks. So what I did here is I put a gut strap here and a gut strap here, and then I've got more straps going over the top. All right, so that's what we got there. And then I put 1 strap over this little pallet here, and then this section back here is a lot like the one in the front. It's got a gut strap in the front and back, and then more going over the top. And then they put this wooden, you know, this package up on the top that they wanted 2-inch straps put over the wood pieces, you know, the framing of that box, and told me not to tighten them too much, just kind of snug them up or it'll break down the wood frame. So that's what we got here. So I'm thinking this is probably going to take a while to get unloaded too, because whoever's doing the unloading is probably going to be a lot less experienced at doing a forklift, especially with this type of product, than the guy that loaded it. So that's just giving you a look at the other side. Kind of a unique load. That other Maverick driver that was there, his load was preloaded, so he just had to kind of do a trailer swap. You know, he had to, I'm at a rest area here, by the way, on I-40. He basically had to just swap trailers and do all the strapping, whereas I had to live load. So yeah, it took a while. So that's what we got. Let's see, what else do I need to tell you right now? You know, I had somebody ask me yesterday, I guess they hadn't gone all the way back through, and watched all the videos, but they asked me they had watched the video and I'd mentioned PC. So they were asking me about that. So let's talk about that just a minute, because that's a long topic there. PC stands for personal conveyance, and it's a designation in your logs for time that you use for personal reasons. Like let's say if I wanted to unhook from my trailer right now and go into town and go to a restaurant and eat breakfast, or I needed to go to Walmart and get some supplies, I could do that, and I would put myself on personal conveyance, and that's allowed. Now Maverick has some rules. Each company can make their own rules about what kind of personal conveyance time they allow. Maverick, I think, gives us 2 hours a week. I hardly use that. I don't need to. The only time I use it really is if I have to get somewhere to park. Like last night. Like I mentioned earlier, I had to drive about 10 miles to get to a pilot, and because I was out of time. I was out of work time, so I put myself on personal conveyance, drove to the pilot, and then I went off duty. That's a legitimate use of personal conveyance, to get to a safe parking place. But there's, to use that legitimately, you can't just go on PC and pick a place, an hour down the road that you want to stop at. You're supposed to stop at the first available place that you can safely park. So, there's a lot of gray area there. It gets abused a lot, but that's what personal conveyance is. There's a lot more information out there and rules around it that if you're going to be doing this, you should learn a little more about that. But in a nutshell, that's a brief discussion of PC. So, all right, let me get on down the road and try to get to this customer. All right, guys, I'm getting off my exit here on I-49 to get to my customer. It says I'm about a little over a mile away. Should be pretty easy to get to, looking at the GPS. Pretty country out here. Just thought I'd give you a little shot of it. Ooh, I know that sun is tough because it's tough for me, but we're fixing to turn south here in a second. And it won't be in our eyes. Okay, let's let this truck get out of our way. All right. Okay, got to go about roughly half a mile, and supposedly our customer is down here. I'm just hoping there's room where I can turn into their property. Oh boy. They probably don't get a lot of semi trucks down this road. Okay, I can see some construction over here to the left. I'm assuming that's kind of where I need to go. And I looked on the satellite map earlier and could see these ponds. Oh, I see a guy over there raising his arms up. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Well, let me figure out how to get in here, folks. Okay guys, I'm here at my customer and I was not able to pull into that driveway, which I'll show you from the other side here in a minute. But here I am out in the road, just a little country road, beautiful country out here. I'd like to just stay here and live. But I've yanked my straps off and they just took the first piece off. See right there, and I've just still got stuff hanging off the truck. I got to get it pulled off, but I freed up the back section so they can start taking stuff off. So that's what we're doing. But yeah, you can see here I could not turn into this little space. No way. Morning. So yeah, I could not make that turn, no way. All right, let me get these straps put away. Well, folks, oh, that was an interesting exit. I'm about a mile or mile and a half from my customer. One of the folks from down there told me to drive down to the end of this road under this I-49 bridge, which you might can see above us, and there'd be a little turnaround spot where I could get out of here, because this road will not take me back to the freeway. So I got to go back the way I came in. So he came down here and kind of blocked the road so I could turn in. Oh, it was not a fun maneuver, I'll tell you. It was a little bit of a challenge. But man, what a fun delivery, really. I mean, beautiful country down in this valley. Oh, there's somebody's dog. Look out, dog. Stay on your side, please. All right. So yeah. All right, so they've sent me a deadhead order going to Fort Smith, which is kind of what I expected. You know, it'll take me about, let's see what the GPS says now that I'm headed the right direction. It says it'll take me about 40 minutes to get there. If I can ever get out of the valley here. Oh, mercy. Woo! I just got an email though while I was waiting for those guys to unload me from a guy who, from the sound of it, lives about 2 miles from where I live. Said he's ready to change careers. He's in his 50s. You know, it's kind of like me. I'm 60 now, but you know, a little while ago I was in my 50s. And he's wanting to drive from Maverick, fixing to start getting his CDL, you know, all of that kind of stuff. So we're supposed to talk and hook up, go to the Waffle House for breakfast sometime. So that'll be fun. I tell you, living right there in Central Arkansas, you're in a great place for Maverick. You got all the conveniences that I've talked about on previous videos of being able to park there at the North Little Rock yard, get your truck washed, get your truck worked on, all of that stuff that's a little more difficult for people that are not real close to a yard. And then I've got another fella who I talked to a few months ago, actually, who's been, you know, trying to get out of his current line of work. Used to do CDL work, Got out of it for about, I think, 10 years. Ready to get back in, and he lives up in the I-55, I-57 area, you know, southeast Missouri, which is also a fantastic freight lane for Maverick freight, you know, because a lot of the loads we get out of Fort Smith, for example, go back through Missouri, or, you know, across Arkansas and then north up 55. Man, all kinds of loads, all kinds of loads. And you're close to St. Louis. You know, good freight lane. All right, I'm just showing you guys a little bit of this country footage, you know. I hope it shows up well on the camera. Although I'm using my old camera this week. I had a couple of little kinks I had to figure out with the new camera, so I hope to be back on it for the next series of videos. But for the ones you're going to get for this week, went back to the old camera. So here's my delivery customer here to the right. I know you probably can't see anything, but they're over there. See that little yellow newspaper delivery box right there by the mailbox? That reminds me of, you know, I used to work at the newspaper here in, well, in the Little Rock area for a long time. I worked for 3 different newspapers, 2 of them out of Little Rock, and that's where I was last working before I started this gig. But that's, you know, what I used to do is customer service on the distribution side, circulation side. Worked in home delivery. The last job I had for the last 5 or 6 years, I was in charge of the retail and street sales, you know, all the retail outlets that sell the newspaper, or vending machines, you know. You don't see them out much anymore, but it used to be a big thing. You know, the little vending machines that'd be out on the street corner where you put in your quarter or your 50 cents and get a newspaper. I was in charge of all of that. But that's kind of a thing that has come and gone. But I mentioned that to get to this. You know, I got a text message from an old workmate and supervisor at times, John, who I used to work with at the Little Rock paper for a long time. He worked there for almost 37 years, I think. He had started a couple of years before I did. We worked together a long time, and he texted me, said that today is his last day at the paper. He's gonna hang it up and go, I guess, retire and take it easy. So congratulations, John. You deserve it. You're one of the hardest working people I ever run across. Had a real knack for getting things done. I will give you that. So all right, guys. Well, I am about to get back on 49 South, heading toward Fort Smith. I'll see you when I get there.